YouTuber. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about how to make money as a nurse. So you graduate from school and you did all that and you listened to all my videos in 4 days. And you still don't know what you're going to do. You want to get in the hospital. But we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about there's more than one ways to make money as a nurse. As a registered nurse, rich nurse. You have the RN residual income. We're going to talk about that. What type of money you can make as a nurse. There's different ways I told you before. My friend Anne Marie in Philadelphia, she was a hospital nurse until she met me. And I said, there's more than one way you can make that money. You don't have to work so hard on that med surg floor. There's different ways to make your money, girlfriend, and pay your bill and probably have savings. That's before I got to Georgia. That's a different story. But I'm going to tell you a little secret. There is many ways that you can use this RN degree and make some money and survive. Always have your foot in someone else's door. And you need to network a lot with a lot of friends. Nurses talk. At least the ones I know up north. They'll tell you which place is paying more money and which place don't even bother going there because you won't make no money. I don't want you to think, and I know I have some new grads listening, it's not all about the money. I just want you to be able to pay your bills because sometimes you might be so caught up in this one job and then new management come in and shake the door or shook up the everything, and before you know it, you're looking for another job. But had you know before that, your foot will be in the door. So I have several jobs. I have several nursing homes. Yes, I had to go back to the nursing home. I always keep my foot in the nursing home because that's a welcoming place that will take anyone. The money has gotten better, and I'm satisfied with what I told my friend Anne Marie. Don't always think the little money add up. So don't overlook the $28, $30 an hour because $30 an hour can pay something when you don't have anything. That's what you need to remember. So I'll go over some things that you need to be aware of. Rich nurse, travel more. Take travel assignment. That can help you jumpstart your I wouldn't recommend it for new nurses though. Jumpstart your profile. The first thing I would say, take night shift. I know I have difficulty with night shift too. I cannot stay awake. I just be 3 o'clock coming, I'm shaking my head like this. This is me. And everybody said, what's wrong with you? I'm just trying to stay awake. And then I start eating ice. The ice don't work. Putting the ice all over me. Screaming and carrying on like a fool. Trying to stay awake. Start writing on the chart. I lose job just for that. Because I was, doodling on one of the chart. And I got in trouble and I had to resign. That was in Philadelphia. So I learned my lesson. So night shift, I have to go outside to catch I have to go outside. I call it my mental health break. Some people call it their cigarette break, but I got to get that cold here, splash in my face. And it doesn't work. As soon as I get back on the floor, I'm just asleep calling me. And I try coffee, and coffee is okay, but I don't like to drink all that sweet stuff and Coffee sometimes mess with the stomach. Anyway, but night shift, let me tell you the secret about night shift. If you work night shift, $6 an hour extra. Differential. They call it differential. So your base pay may be $30 an hour. 11 to 7, like if you're working 12-hour shift, 11 to 7 is considered night shift. So you'll get $6 extra an hour. So that's $36 an hour. If you work weekend, see, this is how I look at it. When I'm doing my schedule, the weekend rate is maybe an extra $10, sometimes it's extra $8, sometimes it's extra $4. So that will be like, during the week, you might get $4 differential, so that's $34 an hour. And then on the weekend, you get an extra, in Georgia, it's an extra $6 I get. So that will be like $34 an hour from Monday to Friday, and then maybe on the weekend, an extra $6. In some places, an extra $10. So the weekend is considered Friday and Saturday. Sunday wouldn't be considered. You would go back to that $4 an hour because Sunday is the new week of the pay period. So the weekend would start Friday night to Saturday morning, I think. Yeah, Saturday morning. The differential. So depending on your base pay may be $35 and you're getting $6, 65, 11, like $41 an hour you end up making. So that's good money. So that's the way for you to maximize, to make your money. Night shift. Now, if you can't work night shift, it's understandable. 3 to 11, there is a differential, but it's not as much as night shift. And the reason why they do put differentials high for night shift, because a lot of people they know can't stay up, and they want you to stay up, honey. Like I said, talk to other nurse, take short assignment. And when I say short assignment, they call them rapid response. Rapid response is not like call a code or anything. It's basically the hospital may be short. The facility needs a bunch of nurses. Maybe during the flu season, they need nurses because their nurses are calling out. And so they need nurses, and the agency will send you. And they usually have higher rates. And I'll break it down for you. If you work with a travel agency and they ask you to do a rapid response, maybe in California, and here's an example. California rate for rapid response, this particular assignment is paying $60 an hour. And you're going to work, it's 4 weeks assignment. You're going to work there for 4 weeks. Now, it's a 12-hour shift. I'm going to break it down by the day. So it's 12 hours a day. 8 hours, you getting 480 times, I'm sorry, let me start over. $60 an hour is your base pay. You're working 12 hours a day. 8 hours times $60 is $480. That's for 8 hours of your pay in that day. Now, the 4 hours out of your 12 hours is at time and a half in California only. So that's $90 times 4 gives you $360. So your total for that one day in working your rapid response in California is $840 for that one day. Now, you're going to work possible, if they let you, I would shoot for it to work 7 days if you can. If not, you're only there for 4 weeks. Come on, you can hang like that. If you're doing day shift or you're doing night shift, this is what you get, $840 for a day. Now, if they let you work, like when we went to Santa Rita jail, they let me work 7 days. Okay, so it's $840 a day times 7 days, so it's 5,880 a week. Times that week pay times 4, because you did for 4 weeks. You walk away with 23,520 in 4 weeks. 4 whole weeks working in California. 4 weeks. Think about it. That's a fast way to get rich and to get your money going. Jumpstart buying your house or do whatever you want. Save your money as a nurse. Now, I did it for 2 states. I decided to do another rapid response, and it's in New Jersey. New Jersey rates, they're not going to be the same as California. So here's the rates: $48.90 an hour in New Jersey. Okay, and you're going to work 12-hour shifts. There is no 8 hours and then after 8 hours, time and a half. That only occur in California. That's the law. But this is still good. Your rapid response in New Jersey is still an excellent one. It's 12-hour shift. Now, if I push it and they said I can get overtime, I can work as much as I want, because I asked these questions. And so they just said, oh, yeah, there's a lot of work. And there is a lot of work in correction. It's going to always be overtime in correction. And so they give me 12-hour shift, and I'm allowed to work 7 days at 12 hours at $48.90. And I end up, I'm not going to go down day, week, whatever. But the total is $16,430.40 for 4 weeks in New Jersey. So compared to California, it's $23,520. It's still good. So what I'm trying to say, rapid response is good. When you hear that, they might even need you for 2 weeks in California. Maybe it's not California. What I'm trying to say, it's Virginia. Like, I have an assignment. I haven't decided yet. I'm trying to decide whether to go to Virginia or go to New Jersey. Either way, the money is going to be made in 4 weeks. So these are ways how to make money as a nurse. I'm just giving you some pointers. You might not get the overtime. If you're the type of person that can get a lot of overtime in your hospital, then stick with it, because that's good too. And work night shift. I know somebody who's used to work a lot, 16 hours every day, 7 days a week, and she's carrying home like $10,000 every 2 weeks. So that's good. Okay. Another way you can like I said, take short assignment. Low paying nurse. I don't think there's such a thing as a low paying nurse, because LPN can make money too. Doing those 16 hours a day, working in corrections, there's overtime. Working in the nursing home, there's overtime. If there's no overtime in your facility, the only place that I see there's no overtime is in that really watch you working overtime is in Georgia. But other than the other states, they open up the floodgates. If you're willing to work, then you will be able to make the money. As a matter of fact, I heard a nurse, it was in the news, that worked at Rikers Island. She made over $150,000 a year. Overtime. Big. Nobody want to work in the jail. It was there. She took advantage. Good for her. If you don't want to do that, some nurse sell cookies. Some nurse sell their home cook. It's just ways to be a hustler. Not only hustling, but you're doing nursing, but you're doing other things that when something slow up, you always got to have income coming in. Another way, a slower way to get rich, is write books. I've written several books and on Amazon. It's taken off, but it's a slow pace. But as it take off, I think that will be a good residual for me. So if you like to write books, then that would be something that you should try. Network, true networking. I started to, every time I meet nurses and they come into the different facility that I work in, like they may come in through the agency, they may come for the first time they just started. I always ask them, where did you work before? And are you working? I'm looking for something. You always got to, in nursing, I hate to say this, but you always got to, network with your other nurse. And they would say, oh, my facility need nurses. They're looking for PRN. And I'll call and they need you. Get an interview. Use an agency local. That's a good way to get your foot in the door if you really want to travel. Use agency to do a local assignment, not contract work, just PRN work, because you don't want to lock yourself into a contract locally. Because you're still looking for a permanent base job. But if that's all that's offered, take it, because some agency can keep you busy. But what I found in Georgia, the agency, they want to book you like it's a full-time job with no benefit. And I don't do that. They want to give you the assignment. The facility wants you to be there and want to give you every other weekend like you're on staff. And I don't think that's right. Yeah, you get the full-time work, but then that limits you from doing other things. Another thing that you could do flu shot. During flu season, give flu shots. That pays money too. You go out and you help out and you give the flu shot. There's different company that does that. What else? You could work in the biggest thing that I find that there's a lot of overtime if you really want to make the money. I know I said a million times, it's going to be the nursing home. It's going to be the correctional facility. And I'm trying to get in one right now speaking, to get back. I mean, I've been away from all those places, but I'm coming back into the correction and into, not. You have to, if you want to work for the state, like the state where you live. I heard Texas correctional facility paid good. They have good pension and you would do it. But the most of the correction in Georgia is managed by different company. It's not run by the state. It's not run by the city. It's another company take it over and just deal with the medical field and provide staffing. So they usually pay better money and benefit than, I think at this point in Georgia, the state decided they don't want to deal with that, it's headache medical wise. So they hire a company to do that. So those are ways that it seems slow. You don't worry. Seems like you'll never make no money, but you'll be able to survive. Your RN degree is a cash cow. There's many ways you can use it to make money so that you could provide for yourself and your kids. You also could be an advice nurse on the phone, work at home, giving advice under the direction of the doctor, under the direction of the insurance company. People calling, they're diabetic, you can direct them the time. Maybe they need to go to the doctor. That's all. You're on the computer. It's simple. So if you like that, giving advice, that's another way of staying home with the kids. That would be a good one. That's another one. I like I said, I like my short, rapid response. I like those assignments because they're so short. And do EMR. EMR is electronic medical records. I mean that the hospitals, I'm not sure about Georgia, but the hospital up north and in southwest and in the East Coast, all over, they have to be up to level of computerized all the records. And so the nurse has to know how to deal with the computer. And so you might go to an EMR, what is called an EMR conversion, meaning that sometimes you don't even have to have a nursing license to go into that state, because I'm not going to be a nurse. I'm just going to train the nurses. I'm not going to do any patient care. I'm just going to deal with the computer, show them how to give their medication, how to, through the computer, how to do their blood work, get their blood work result. And sometimes I train the doctor how to use the computer, because sometimes the doctors do not want to deal with the computer. They want to give you a verbal and that's it. So now the thing up north, and I think in California too, the doctors have to be up to the level. He has to put all his orders into the computer. And so when the hospital goes live, they need nurses to train the doctor how to put the orders in and how to put, get it to the nurse and to the pharmacy. So that's another job that a nurse can do, and you don't need a license to do that. There are instances where you might see that they need an EMR conversion nurse, or they might say a super user. That's the title that I was under. A super user mean I trained the doctor, I trained the nurse how to use the computer. I'm not doing any patient care. They're doing the patient care. I'm just shadowing them, show them, click here, click there. So that's pretty simple, and it does pay up to, I would say, $50 to $60 an hour, and sometimes $75 an hour. Another one is you might see that they want you, the agency might have something like the facility is going into an EMR, their conversion, they call it, but they need me there to work. That means I'm not going to train anyone. I have to be on the floor. There will be other EMR people or super users, and I'll be working on the floor and still maybe helping the other nurses that are working. So that's another way. It's still the same amount of money. So there's several ways that you can do this. There's many ways to make your money. And I hope that you take my advice. I know it sounds too overwhelming for the new nurses, but there's some things in there that I think you can still do. You can work for an insurance company, do the advice. You can even go out and how life insurance, they want you to check the vital signs and blood work and everything. You should, as a phlebotomist combination, I would say. So that's another way you can do it. Those are careers that you will be working by yourself. You could do home care. Home care, another way about home care, another thing about home care, I should say. It's good when you have to, you open a case, I mean, the new patient, and you have to take all those medical records, pay good. One facility I know was calling me because I live in the area. a nursing home, back to the nursing home again. And if a patient died, the RN has to pronounce because the doctor is not there. And so maybe they don't have the RN in the building there at the nursing home. So they may need you to come in and pronounce the patient. Maybe they don't need the RN there at night. So if they have an RN on board, they may pay $200 just to come in and pronounce that patient for them. So you have to be in the loop. You have to keep your ears open, and you have to be willing to be flexible. I mean, as a new nurse, I understand why you want to be in the hospital, and it's a must that you get that experience, but sometimes the experience won't come that way. And the reason why I talk about the nursing home so much, because I've worked in nursing home up north where you're given a lot of IVs. And by the time you get to when you're doing all these IVs, they do have pick lines where RNs get the blood, and some of them get blood in the nursing home. The ones up north, I don't know how high tech the one in Georgia is, but the ones I have worked as an LPN, they were pretty high tech. They have computers and everything. So there's lots of hidden skills in the nursing home. You could be a case manager once you train in the nursing home as a case manager, and you could work for an insurance company. You could travel as a case manager. You could do many things with that. So there's different things. Once you have that managerial skill, I don't do that, so I can't really talk much about those kind of skills. You could be a treatment nurse. You could be certified as a treatment nurse, and you could work in a wound clinic, work in a pain clinic, so there's different places that an RN will take you if you are willing to open up your eyes, open up your ears, and be flexible. It's a learning process, and you will get there, I guarantee you. Thank you. Please subscribe, comment, and have a wonderful day.